yours truly, Jupiter Red, and welcome to my channel. Just welcome. Just bringing in all my aliens, all my extraterrestrials. I don't know what I'm gonna call my subscribers yet because I don't have very many. But when I get to like 100, maybe I'll think of something. I decided to give y'all something a little different today. I have my little devil horn braids, makes me feel mischievous, and I have my gray contacts, you know, trying to give y'all like more of an alien vibe. Like these are kind of like, you know, like little antennas. I don't know if that makes me feel like an alien or a bug, but I like the devil horns things better. So I'm an evil alien and I'm here to conquer the earth via YouTube. But off of that subject, today I am going to be sharing a story with you about why being broken up with was the best thing, literally the best thing that has ever happened in my life. So, just to give y'all a little bit of background, when I was younger, pretty much all throughout my life up till like the past year and a half, 2 years, I really was like emotionally unstable. I was like chronically depressed all the time, and I couldn't not to be single. Like I just hated being single. My nose itches. I was emotionally unstable and I could not be single at all. I always hopped out of one relationship right into another like a kangaroo. Bloop. I'm so corny. So, and I still have done that up to this point. Like if y'all seen how I fell in love with my side nigga, like I literally was like I had a side nigga and I left that nigga for my side nigga. Like literally there was no break in being single. Ever since I started dating, I have always just been like a relationship slut, just all the time. So basically I had an issue once I had gotten into the army. I was emotionally unstable. I was not mentally prepared for any of that. And after all of the training, you know, I had already been single for a while, so I started to feel lonely because, you know, now it was just like a job. Being in the army just was a job. Now, and I would go to PT or whatever, and then I would go to my job, and I'll come home and I'd be so alone, and I would just be the little desperate bitch that I've always been. And I wanted to be in a relationship. So, you know, after attempting, you know, dating websites or whatever, it just wasn't working out. I ended up meeting this chick. Yep, guys, a chick. I can't wink. Hold on. How do you do it? There we go. A chick. And at this time I had explored, you know, females a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm bisexual. I actually would say after dating females, I think I'm straight. I'm pretty sure that I'm straight now. No offense to any lesbians out there, but women just not for me. And it's not even that the sex isn't good or anything like that. It's just that hunty boucher, like no, it just doesn't work. Like just all of that estrogen and no. So I met this chick and I swerved her like a lot because I wasn't really interested in being in a relationship with a woman, because it's nothing that I ever really thought about. Like, you know, messing around with a female, it's completely different than actually being in a relationship. But after a while, me and her ended up going somewhere. We really clicked, we really hit it off, and I considered it. So pretty much like right off the back, we started dating, and I have to give her a name. So what are you gonna call her? I'll call her Dreadhead. She wasn't a dreadhead at the time, obviously, because we were in the army, but now she's out and she has dreads. And if Dreadhead, if you just so happen to see this video, I'm not here to talk shit about you. I have nothing against you. It's just I got a story to tell about you, okay? Because the story about you is the story about me. So let me just tell you how you did it. So, the first week of us dating, Dreadhead had told me that she loves me. And since I was a little like desperate little in love little thing, you know, that was just like a trigger, like,
oh my god, she loves me. Oh my gosh, I'm so fucking pathetic.
Just that shit. So automatically, like instantaneously, I was in love. And at this point, I would just do anything for her. I was like, okay, she loves me. I gotta do everything in my power to keep her happy. And it did not take long for things to start going wrong. Like, she was just not happy in the relationship at all. She was not over either one of her exes. She had 2 exes. You ever met a nigga or a bitch that is not over 2 of their exes?
What?
Not one, but a whole 2 of them. Like, shit. Like, but yeah, so she wasn't over 2 of her exes, and you know, after me really catering to her, I'm gonna try to make this story short, so I'm gonna skip a lot, but I really catered to her. I bought everything. I bought her food. I always bought the food. I made sure she never had to spend her money. I bought her clothes. I put tires on her car. I had a savings account with $1,500 in it, which is not that much, but it was gone. By the time the relationship was over, it was all gone. This girl, like, I'm really trying to not like bash her, but it's not even the fact of bashing her, because I was pathetic too. But let me just explain. So she ended up leaving me for one of her exes. One of her exes had came back to town and she wanted to be with her. And then when that ex didn't work out, of course she came back to moi because I'm second best. Number 2. But it's okay for me to be number 2, because you know what number 2 is? It's the shit. Because I am the shit. So yeah. So she came back to me, and of course, being the pathetic little bitch I am, or I was, because I'm not pathetic anymore. So I was a pathetic little bitch. But yes, being the pathetic little bitch I took her back, and I didn't care. And even when she was in the relationship with the other girl, do you know I bought her an entire outfit to go on a date with that bitch? Like, I was just really like, something was like really wrong with me. I just did not know my self-worth or my self-value at all. I did not care about myself at all. I was just miserable and I was just pathetic. And that's really the only way that I can just say it. I was just really pathetic. So, she had disrespected me numerous times. Like, one of her exes came back. She dated her. She ran back to me. Then her ex-wife or whatever, because they lived in some, at the time, gay marriage wasn't legal everywhere, but it was legal in her state. So her wife had came to San Antonio, where I was stationed. And, you know, me and her would stay in the same barracks room, which we were totally not supposed to be doing. Me and her would stay in the same barracks room. And when her ex-wife, well, her current wife or whatever, because I don't really know if they ever got divorced, Dreadhead kicked me out of the room when her ex-wife came, so her ex-wife could sleep in the bed with her. And I forgave her for that. And when I finally got the guts to break it off with Dreadhead, you know, I was just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not doing this. I broke it off with her and I ignored her and blah blah blah. Then of course she had to take advantage of my weakness and my quote unquote love for her. So I ended up just falling right back into the same cycle of being fucking pathetic and buying her shit. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like I don't just thinking about it pisses me off. And it's not that I'm pissed off at her, I'm just so pissed off at myself, because I'm like, how could I let myself be taken advantage of like that when I know that I'm such a good, genuine person, and like I don't in any way deserve any of that. But like I told you before, I had suffered from depression, and I obviously didn't know my self-worth. So I ended up like messing around with her again. We were not really back together. She ended up sleeping with one of my friends, and it kind of pissed me off. I was kind of mad at that friend because, you know, I had wrote a whole entire damn song, like guitar and everything, like just like a whole song, and I let that friend hear the song about Dreadhead. I was like, oh, I'm so sad. My baby don't want me. I'm the second best. She don't want me, or whatever. And that bitch literally sat there and listened to that whole song. I'm like, that song is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then that friend went and fucked Dreadhead. But like, I don't know if she's ever gonna see this video, but she was a little slut bag back then. And I don't, you know, I am like all for, if you are a woman and you wanna hoe around and you wanna get it in or whatever, but stop fucking people who know everybody. Like, you can't fuck people who know each other. Like, be a stealthy hoe, be a ninja hoe, you know what I'm saying? Be a secret hoe. But anyway, back on subject. Okay, just skipping all of that. Finally, Dreadhead was leaving because she had some mental issues, just like I had some mental issues too, that made her not fit to be in the army anymore, and she was about to go. And so she broke it off with me completely, and yeah, she broke it off with me completely. And when she finally left, and I just finally like realized that you really can do everything in your power to please somebody, but if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Don't drag yourself through the mud for anybody. Don't let anybody take advantage of you like that. This bitch used me for my body, for my money, she completely took advantage of me because I was weak. And just know, if you're a weak person like that, you give off a pheromone. Like, people can sniff that shit out, like seriously. And you, as a weak person, and I'm not saying like you're completely weak, but if you're weak in that area of really like standing up for yourself and knowing your worth and stuff like that, if you're weak in that area, people are manipulative and they will take advantage of you. Just know that they will take advantage of you, and it's very important to not let them do that. And it's very important to know when you're drawing that type of crowd, because that's all I've ever attracted, because I've always been a very, very, very weak in that sense, and very giving person. I like to buy people things. I like to buy the person things that I'm in a relationship with, or I like to buy my friends things. I like to do things for my friends because it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like I'm making them happy. I am pleasing them. And I still have that problem a little bit, but thankfully I have a boyfriend now who would never ever 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 take advantage of me like she did, or like any of my other exes did. Because up to this point, other than my first boyfriend, up to this point I have always been taken advantage of. But yeah, so when she broke up with me, I really dug deep, and I really could just, I finally felt in my heart like this is the last time this shit's ever gonna happen to me. And no, I didn't build no wall. No, I didn't block anybody out. I'm not capable of doing that. No matter how many times my heart gets broken, I can love again and again and again and again. I'm a fucking Care Bear. I can love forever. No matter how hurt I get, I will always love, always. So, but I was able to strengthen that part of me that was broken. That part of me that would let myself be taken advantage of. That part of me that just sat there and wallowed in my own sadness, in my own depression. And at that moment, I finally decided to be happy. And I just said, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna let my disorder run my life. I'm not gonna let people take advantage of me. This is not how it's gonna go down. So I learned to love myself from that experience. And you know, every day I think to myself like how far I've come. And to truth be told, I mean, mostly because of me, but the fact that Dreadhead broke my heart that much, like she truly broke me down, and I had to build myself up. Like that was the last straw. I was done. I was just like dead. Roll me over in my grave now. But I rose up like the Falcons. Well, maybe I shouldn't say rose up like the Falcons, because we just lost the Super Bowl like a month ago. Damn, that game sucked. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. That is why being broken up with was the best thing that has ever happened in my life. And like I said before, I have no hard feelings against this girl. I really think she did me a solid, because if it wasn't for that experience, I don't know if I would have finally decided in my own heart, mind, and soul and body and everything to just decide to choose happiness. Because just allowing yourself to just wallow in your depression and your chemical imbalance, and not saying that chemical imbalances don't exist, but you are able to cure yourself. You really are, unless you have like something really severe like schizophrenia, but you are able to cure yourself. You just have to decide to focus your energy on being happy and stop being comfortable being depressed, because that's a whole nother story. But it's very comfortable being depressed because it just gives you an excuse to not do shit. So it can become very comfortable. But anyway, so I'm sorry if that offended anybody, but as a person who has been depressed for like ever and has finally just stopped being depressed, I'm just letting you know from my experience. It might not be the experience that everybody has. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope y'all found this video entertaining, and love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Mwah.